All right, guys, welcome back. This is the People's Inauguration here. We're at, right behind me is Independence Hall. As you can see, we're at Independence Hall, and this is the People's Protest. It's getting crowded. People are starting to gather around together to see how they feel about what's happening in Washington, D.C. and what's happening in Philadelphia, how they view Philadelphia, how they view the presidency, President Donald Trump, and what the future looking like. What's the sign you're holding up today?
I am holding up my moral resistance sign. This is a movement that Reverend William Barber in North Carolina has started, so here representing.
And what does it mean?
I think for me, it means that there are things that I care about both in our society at large and in my own life that are rooted in a sense of moral goodness, being good to my neighbor, caring for people the way I'd want to be cared for. And sometimes the best way to do that is to resist what appears to be the dominant approach or voice in our government.
On Market Street, we can see a march coming down 6th and Market at the moment. They're saying no, they're chanting no Trump. We have people from all ages out today supporting what they believe in. The crowd's going wild. The protest has now just hit the people's.
We'd like to welcome people from every country, every state, every city that people are from.
无论你是不是与活动人士、单身人士、结婚人士、约会的人士、性别越狱人士、青少年、20多岁、30多岁、40多岁、50多岁、60多岁、70多岁、80多岁、90多岁的人们。
We'd like to welcome all of your emotions, joy and bliss, grief, rage, indignation, contentment, disappointment. Queremos darle la bienvenida a sus emociones, a la felicidad y el gozo, a la tristeza, a la ira, la indignación, y también el desarraigo.
I'm going to welcome all the speakers that are going to be sharing their stories today here. And please listen carefully. And as part of our moving together, remember that it's about building relationships and actively listening. So we have with us Bill Gregory.
There's so many organizations here. Let me hear it for these organizations again. Now, if you can leave here there's like 20 orgs here. If you can leave here unaffiliated with somebody, that's your fault. That is completely your fault. These people, we've bridged so many political gaps. There are groups here that would never sit down. But understand this, we came together for a common good and say, listen, black liberation, queer liberation, female liberation is necessary if we want to have a better country. It's not up to Donald Trump and his presidency and the puppeteers that he put in office or are trying to. Like Betsy DeVos, oh Lord, anyway. It's not up to them, no. It's up to us to come together and say, no, we will hold you accountable. You will provide for the people. You will raise minimum wage. Because if you can't see the connection between racism and economic injustice, let me paint a picture for you. You know Temple, right? Yes, the area around Temple is called what?
Cecil B. Morgan.
Cecil B. Morgan, no. It's called Temple Town. Want to know why? Because the same liberal people who claim to be building up the neighborhood, the same people that are saying, we're going to make this area better, are gentrifying the crap out of that neighborhood. They're pushing black and brown people out just to get, not white people specifically. No, that's not the goal. The goal is people with money. Understand that is what's the root of this. And right now, the white people have the money, but I don't want to give you a history lesson because I only got 3 minutes. But understand this, right here, this right here, this congregation of people is what we need. But what we really need is for each and every single one of you to go home and join an organization, get up off our asses and do something. Stop saying voting is the only thing to do. Stop acting like just because I voted for Hillary Clinton, I'm a good person. You are not. Because understand this, if we had Hillary Clinton, it would just be quieter. In 6 months, when another black person is killed by a police officer, it'll just be, oh, you know, these things happen. Erica, these things just kind of happen. But no. Now we have to deal with it. So get off, we need to all, not just you, all of us, myself included, need to get up our lazy asses and do something. And so that in 4 years, in 8 years, in 16 years, we won't be turning around going, oh, well, we don't know how this happened again. We know exactly how it happened. We didn't do shit.
My name is Dejalyn Alvarez. I am a very proud trans woman, activist, and advocate here in the city of Philadelphia. There was a time in my life where I could have never stood in front, well, let me correct that. I would have never been invited to stand in front of a crowd of people as a trans woman. But as a trans woman that used to be a sex worker, who is an addict, and who has faced discrimination her entire life, that I'm now the director of the first LGBTQ specific shelter and recovery facility in the entire country. It's called the LGBTQ Home of Hope, and it's based right here in Philadelphia. There was a time in my life that I wouldn't have been strong enough to stand in front of a crowd of people and tell them that I'm a trans woman. And just because Donald Trump is in office does not mean I'm willing to go back to that place. They were absolutely right. This country has never stopped being racist and bigoted and discriminatory. But we have to continue to fight.
I am on the Fayette Justice Project with Put People First. And the project I'm working on is very personal to me. There's a prison called LaBelle, PA, SCI Fayette. If you have any family members there or loved ones, anyone you know, you need to contact them immediately, and you need to stay in contact with them. The prisoners, the guards, and staff are being exposed to coal ash. You can Google it, SCI Fayette coal ash. 11 prisoners have died from cancer from 2010 to 2013, and the 12th, a month ago, who was my very good friend. He was 52 years old, and 6 others have been diagnosed with cancer at the State Correctional Institute at Fayette in LaBelle, PA. So help me to bring as much attention to that cause. Also, the people of LaBelle are suffering with the same things. So we're concerned with the guards, the inmates, the staff, and the local community.
Primero que todo estoy aquí porque esta mañana me preguntaron, ¿tú qué sientes? En primer lugar, yo no le tengo miedo a Donald Trump.
This morning someone asked me, how do you feel? And I said, I'm not afraid of Donald Trump.
Lo que me da miedo como comunidad inmigrante es ser separada de mis hijas.
What I'm afraid is being an immigrant, that I can be separated from my daughters.
Como existe el nuevo movimiento santuario, hay otras organizaciones en todo el país que están apoyando a las personas inmigrantes. No estamos solos.
We are not alone. Just as a New Sanctuary Movement, there are all of the organizations that are supporting us immigrants.
Hay diferentes etnias, diferentes religiones, diferentes géneros que el nuevo gobierno amenaza con atacar de una u otra manera, separando familias, revocando derechos que ya teníamos y separando a las comunidades.
There are different ethnicities, different religions, different genders that this new government is threatening to attack in one way or the other by separating families, by revoking rights that we already had and separating our communities.
As a Muslim Arab American that was screamed at stating, "Go back to your country," as I was driving to school. While I was driving to school, I stand here to tell you that this country is a country that will remain the country of the people. This country is made up of 310 religions. These religions range from Islam to Christianity, from Buddhism, etc. This Trump administration that resonates hate and says if you are not born in this country, if you struggle, if you are disabled, if you are not here originally, you do not belong here. But that is not the case, ladies and gentlemen. I am a perfect case of that. I come from an immigrant family. I am an immigrant myself, and I stand here before you to tell you this is my home, this is my country, and I will stand here and I will fight with you.
This is the people's inauguration. It's time for us to take our pledge, to commit to act this day and every day going forward until we see real, lasting change. Are you ready to take your oath? All right, people. We, the people, faithfully promise to protect and defend one another, especially our targeted communities: Muslim, Black, immigrant, poor, LGBTQIA, disabled, women, workers, children, and anyone under attack. Now repeat after me. We the people.
We the people.
Faithfully promise.
Faithfully promise.
To protect and defend one another. Yes. All right. We the people faithfully promise to struggle in solidarity and resist fascism, racism, xenophobia, transphobia, sexism, ableism, capitalism, and all the illnesses in our society that keep us from fulfilling our humanity together. Repeat after me. We the people.
We the people.
Faithfully promise to fight.
Faithfully promise to fight.
We the people faithfully promise to listen, educate ourselves and our communities, and act with bold love and compassion alongside one another towards healing and justice. We the people.
We the people.
Faithfully promise.
Faithfully promise.
To act with bold love. And compassion. Yes, we the people faithfully promise to build a sanctuary within ourselves, in our city, in our countries, in order to build a world that is just for all. And all together now, we the people.
We the people.
Faithfully